Welcome to Selective Podcast! I'm Johnny.
Joseph,
Jared,
Jackson,
and Thomas.
But today we're doing a special spooky cast on account of Halloween's tomorrow.
Hails yeah.
Hopefully this will be out by then. I'm gonna work my ass off for this. There's already an edit.
by then we mean Christmas.
Not really.
It'll be the Thanksgiving episode by then, but hey.
You know, this is usually, we'll probably usually start off by talking about the current games and stuff we're playing, but today we're doing a little different. Celebrate festivities of the spooky.
Hallows Eve.
First off, you know, since we're mostly games, let's talk about if you guys think the video game industry, has it gotten better or worse?
The horror video game?
Horror video gamers.
The horror.
Horror.
Starts off, Thomas.
The video game.
The horror video game industry has gotten better. Compared to what, like the old Resident Evil games? Something like that?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
even further back, Ghosts and
Jason
Goblins.
on the NES.
Yes,
Yes.
Friday the 13th.
I have no mouth.
Where
and
he
I
was like
scream.
purple and blue.
Look, did you guys ever play the point and click?
No.
I have no mouth and I must scream.
No.
By
No.
Harlan
That
Ellison.
sounds creepy as hell.
That
It is
sounds
creepy as hell.
really
It is a truly disturbing and terrifying game. And compared to that, with like new games, I guess it's kind of gone downhill. I mean, the first two Dead Spaces were pretty good. The second one, especially, was really scary. The third one was kind of a letdown, but I mean, it had some spooks, but it wasn't that great. The Resident Evil series is basically a shooter now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know, but then you have some hidden gems like Limbo and stuff like that.
That's true. Limbo was
Slender Man.
Slender Man.
I like
I
games
hated Sim
that are
Slender.
not intentionally being creepy that creep you out. You know what I mean?
You hate those? Or?
No, those are my favorite
Oh,
kinds
favorite
of scaries.
ones, okay.
Like glitching. Lots of glitching.
Glitching can be pretty freaky sometimes. I'm talking more like
Seems to always go
like
back to Majora's
Lavender
Mask.
Town.
No.
Lavender Town.
And it's dark,
stuff
like
like that. It's just kind of dark themed stuff. Like I think games nowadays, they're either going to be scary or you're going to absolutely maybe a jump scare too. Like back in the day, it just seems
I
like
think-
everything had a darker theme. Like
I think
Castlevania.
like the better graphics we've gotten kind of have
It's
hurt
lazy.
the horror
you
genre.
think it would make it better?
Yeah, but
Well, I mean, then you have like The Walking Dead, like the point and click one of that one. That was fantastic. And
That's not really horror.
Well, I mean,
Oh, it's freaky. It was freaky, though.
it's pretty freaky. I mean, one or two times I got pretty scared.
yeah, I don't even think the show is horror.
Yeah, me neither.
It's
Yeah.
more like
It's
It's more based on the
It's like
comic. It's
thrill.
more based on the comic books, though, and that's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
because I love the comics. I don't really like the show all that much.
What's really bummed me out is the Resident Evil series.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I
the
was
fourth one and the first one.
the first one. I remember playing that really young and being so scared. Once you walk through a door, it shows the door.
Yeah, the camera
and
angles.
it opens it.
The shitty camera
And then,
angles.
like, even that first scene when
Where
you see
that guy's like,
Well, this turning
just
the
looks
corner was
behind you.
terrifying.
yeah,
that was terrifying. And when the dogs break in,
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
the
the
windows?
windows. Damn.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I was so scared.
Did
like,
you like the update that they did, like the better graphics and stuff?
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's
GameCube,
good.
It was
Yeah,
really
I'm about to
good.
say, I liked it.
But 2 was good. I never played really 3 or 0,
No.
and then 4 was amazing.
Yeah.
Once they did, they actually did an okay job at doing a third-person shooter, and made it horrifying.
Like in the medical facility with those.
those things where you had to use a thermal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was terrifying. And like I guess it was the whole story around it and how it was like a cult-like group. And it's just like how creepy
In
this
Spanish.
would be. Yeah,
Spanish.
you don't understand anything that they're saying either. That's why it's good. And my
not
parents
Spanish.
speak fluid Spanish, so once they came in, they're like, "Oh, what are you playing?" And I'm just like, "Oh God, he came in! Don't ever scare me like that again." But then once 5 came out, and what I think really killed it was the cooperative play.
Yeah.
Even though it's so
hard
fun.
to be
Yeah,
scared
the
with
co-op's
2 of
great.
With 2 people.
But, yeah.
It's like watching horror movies. With
You're
like
not
a big
scared,
group.
though.
Co-op's
Because
good.
you always have someone with you.
Co-op's good if you have if you're playing a shooter, and that's what they're turning into. Is rather a shooter game than
Like everything.
Yeah.
Shooters and
It's
sequels.
only a matter of time that they turn, first person.
Yeah.
Mario first person, the horror.
But and then I
Damn.
tried beating 6 because I only have Ada's mission left, and I tried beating it just for this podcast, but
I
I
couldn't
really
get through it.
through it. But so far on 6, I did enjoy Leon's. It had the small touches of Resident Evil in it, but then Chris in that it was okay if it wasn't called Resident Evil.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a good game if it wasn't called Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Black Hawk Down Zombie.
Yeah. If it was called something completely else and they had different characters, I'm sure it would have made a great hit.
Hell,
But
even just
it
a
wasn't.
zombie game in general might have been kind of cool that way.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, the Resident Evils have really put it down for me. And I, like Jared said earlier, Ghosts and Goblins, Castlevanias. I haven't played the new Castlevanias, but the old Castlevanias.
The new ones
Scary.
are like just Devil May Cry, where you're just hacking and slashing.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Silent Hills.
The Silent Hill
I've never
games.
played a Silent Hill game.
I haven't
I played the
two.
second. I played the second one a long time ago, and that was pretty freaky. And
Yeah.
they got the remastered editions out, and those are still pretty cool.
I heard the remastered sucked.
Really?
What about you, Joseph? What do you think about horror video games?
Just like I said, I think graphics really hurt it because it's really bright now, and it's just like
You don't
With-
have to like use your imagination of what that is.
yeah, because like 16 bits made it scary because you couldn't figure out what stuff was.
Yeah.
What the hell is that in the corner?
Yeah, I am
That's a good
error.
point.
What does that mean?
What is your favorite modern horror video game?
Probably what I said, Limbo.
Limbo.
You know, yeah.
It's not real.
It's like puzzle.
yeah,
It's eerie.
But it has a like
yeah,
just
it's
an
really
atmosphere.
It's
Yeah.
all about atmosphere.
Yeah,
in
I
horror
guess so.
games.
Mine's probably Dead Space 2. I just enjoyed that one, and I got pretty freaked out because I played it in a really small room with surround sound and like a 60-inch TV, and your whole world was that dark room, and you couldn't see Jack. And I'm like, this is actually pretty terrifying. And then like that alarm clock goes off, and I kind of jumped about 4 feet up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Jackson?
Probably Resident Evil 4. But I think going with that question, so much stuff is it's so theme based, sorta,
Yeah.
And I loved how like in the Mass Effect series and there seems to always be like a very scary like Mass
There's
Effect
always
Dragon
zombies.
Age. There's some sort of scary, terrifying. You don't
Yeah.
see it coming.
Halo, the
It's just-
flood, and
Oh, yeah,
stuff
the
like
flood
that.
was
Yeah.
like,
I
out
love
of the
that
blue.
kind of thing, like you don't see it coming, and so like anyway, I don't know how to like Amnesia: Dark Descent.
I was
like,
about to
I
say that
played
one
it,
was.
and it's good. It really is an awesome horror game, but it's a horror game. You expect to be scared. That's what I liked about the whole like Mass Effect. The Broodmother, freaking so scary. Earthbound Gygus, terrifying. Like you're just all around. You pop around a corner, and there's something that's so not supposed to be.
So you like to be scared in just games that are not supposed to be scary?
I kind of do. I
Because
mean,
you're not
that-
expecting it.
Yeah, I mean, in Majora's Mask, there's that guy. Sorry, I always talk about this game. I love it. There's
We're
that
playing
mummy dad guy who's like part mummy.
Oh, yeah.
My!
What about that?
I will
like,
never forget that.
in that
It's so
dungeon,
good.
the Shadow Dungeon in Ocarina, that
The dead
monster.
hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing was terrifying. That was not supposed to be in a rated E video game.
Yeah, and every once in a while they sneak up on you, and I like more
That would
stuff
scare
like that.
Pyramid Head because
Yes.
that thing is creepy.
In Metal Gear Solid, that Psycho Mantis
Psycho
guy.
Mantis.
Yeah, he's my favorite boss because I remember because he freaked me out.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just. I guess it is atmosphere because
Yeah.
it just feels,
Like, have you ever played Pikmin? Have you gone into like the
not all of them.
underground?
Oh yeah, I remember like the
Yes,
underground
I remember
cabin.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty creepy too.
Mhm.
That's a great level. Actually.
And Mega Man Legends, when you go down like underground and explore the ruins, it's just like silence, and you're like, shh, 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 shh. And all of a sudden you hear another, shh, 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 shh. And you're like, what is that? Oh my god! And it's like, doosh, doosh, and you kind of freak
Man,
out under
if-
there.
Talking about creepy in games that are not supposed to be creepy. One time we were playing Battlefront, the first Battlefront,
yeah.
and we were in Cloud City, and all of a sudden just like raining grenades
Yeah, we
sounded
hear
throughout
ting,
the game.
Like usually you hear ting ting ting, but it's like ting 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 ting.
And then, so we lose the game, and then all of a sudden the Emperor's voice comes on. It's like,
It's
oh, creeped us out.
That's an awesome glitch. Wow.
I've run into stuff like that too. I can't think of any right now, but sometimes I'm just like, whoop, reset. I'm not turning off the game. I still want to play. I just want to get this demon out of here.
Sell the console, buy another one.
I got a question for y'all. Like, what's y'all's scariest like boss battle or scariest enemy y'all have ever like encountered in a video game? Yeah, I know what mine is. Like in Resident Evil 4, that thing that you have to.
Yes.
I forgot what it's called, but he gets up out of a. You're in like the medical facility, and you have to.
Yeah, that's what
stick
we're
that-
talking about.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell that action is. Where
It's like,
yeah. Dude, the first time I couldn't figure out how to like connect everything, so I was shooting it, and it's just kind of regrowing itself. I literally like screamed in my room. I was like, ah!
Well,
It's just blasting
when I was
it.
playing that part of that game, me and Michael were playing it. I was at his house for like a week, and they make this noise that's like kind of like that. And we were both sick on that week, so I was like, Michael, are you okay? And he's like, that wasn't me. And I was like, oh god.
Jared, that wasn't me, man.
I'm gonna have to go like really old school since I'm the old guy, and I'm gonna have to say Super Mario Brothers 2 when you pick up the key in those little vases
the
and the
mask.
little mask guys start flying around.
And you just chuck
tense.
that.
You're like, no, don't touch
And it goes right through him, right?
Yeah. You just get so tense when those guys
You
start
just
flying
chuck
around.
that key, like, no!
I'm gonna be a straight up stooge and say the amnesia monster.
Oh,
Hey, that's fine. That thing's
Because
horrifying.
when you go to the cellar and everything's dark, I played this part like 3 times with Michael. You go to the cellar, you know you're expecting something, but it's never there.
yeah.
You look around the corner, it's not there. You look around this corner, it's not there. And then you finally do all the stuff you're about to do. You're about to leave, and then it shows up, and your
just run.
your
yeah.
screen goes all purple haze. And you're like, what the hell, what the hell, what the hell, what the hell? Turn off my lamp and stuff. But yeah, amnesia monster.
Thomas, have you ever been
Um,
tense at a game?
Tense.
Probably from I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream.
Yeah.
When you do that last boss with Am, he's this giant like computer who's basically God now, and what happens is that you can either lose or like and be turned into this just blob that has consciousness, but you have no mouth, no appendages, no eyes. You just have complete consciousness, and you're just stuck there in basically darkness. Or you save. Oh, yeah, or you save like humanity, and it all rides down onto this. And if you lose, you know you have the ending. Is I'm like this blob. It's like I have no mouth and I must scream.
Yep.
And that was scary because I kept getting the ending, and I'm like, stop it.
I don't know if you guys remember, but in like the original Mario 64, there's that basement you go to, and there's like that fire world, and then that secret wall. But one time when you go, after you get a certain amount of stars, you go down there, and you hear like a doot, doot, like a splash of the water, like the psh, psh, and you're like, what is that? Like Mario stops, you stop as Mario. You're like, what is that? And then you see a little brown thing walk by. You're like, oh my god, what? And then you go towards it, it's a bunny.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my god.
Oh, you! I thought you were gonna say the piano monster.
I was-
That's
Everybody says the piano. I think another one that kind of freaked me out was from Star Fox 64. Andross's like last battle.
Oh, and he was just a brain.
When he's the
eyes.
brain. I was like, yes, I defeated him. And then what the hell?
Yeah, that was weird. Oh, man.
What about the part in KOTOR where you open that box and it sends you to like
that?
Limbo?
Was so freaking weird. That was scared the shit out of me the first time. Like I run over and I'm like, what is that thing? Like,
Yeah.
and then
It's just like a
I
speck.
failed. I failed that because
You
I'm
failed
terrible
that?
at riddles. So I was just like, I think it's light. And he's like, you're an idiot. It's time. And then I was just like, and it's game over. Like,
We also have the part in KOTOR, the Sith Lords, the second one, where you're under the ruins of Korriban, the Sith Academy. And it's like all like spider webs and everything else, and they have those cloaked enemies. Yeah, cloaked.
Assists?
No, not the Hissis, but no, actually, yeah, they are the Hissis. Yeah. And speaking of cloaked bugs, that's basically what they are. Mm-hmm. And you can't really see them, so you're fighting against this like invisible enemy for a few seconds before you drop their cloak shield, and it's like this massive like black bug.
Yeah.
And there's like tons of them in there, and that was pretty freaky.
To slowly transition into this, have you ever? What do you think of the horror video game movies? Have you guys seen any of them?
I have not.
I've seen Silent Hill.
Silent Hill,
and a
Resident
few of the
Evil.
Resident Evil.
I saw House of the Dead.
Oh yeah,
that sucked.
House of the Dead. I didn't even know they made a movie of that.
It's Yui Bowl.
Oh yeah. That guy's a
What's
horror.
this game?
What's that?
Is this a game?
Yeah, House of the Dead?
Yeah.
It was an old like arcade
Yeah.
shooter.
You can shoot it.
Remember the ones at the movie theaters and stuff?
Yeah,
I guess I never
and they
played
had it on Dreamcast for a while too.
Oh, really?
House of
Pretty
the Dead
fun.
1 and 2.
You can shoot like the zombies as they're walking at you. You shoot them to pieces. And,
It's kind of like Umbrella Chronicles if you ever played that for Wii.
Yeah.
Does anybody like the first Resident Evil movie? Because I
only like the
love
third
the
one.
first Resident Evil.
I like.
I love all the Resident Evil movies. They're so cheese. They are not on topic or anything of Resident Evil. They're like Resident Evil 6.
Have they ever?
They
made
could
a-
be called something else, and they would.
Go ahead,
be
Jackson.
fine.
I'm sorry.
oh, there's an animated one with Leon in it, right?
Yeah.
That's
Oh, those
all
I
are
want to see
great.
that one. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have those. You can borrow.
Do they have a Fatal Frame movie?
A Fatal Frame movie?
Yeah.
I bet that would.
They
be
have
fucking
this
creepy.
Japanese or Korean film that
Is that
has to
Fatal
do
Frame?
with somewhat kind of.
I bet that'd be pretty good.
And I watched it. I watched the American one, and I once I found out the ending of it. I think it's called Shudder.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I hated it. It had the guy from I think Dawson's Creek on it or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Not
I've
James
seen that
Vanderbeek,
movie.
but,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's not that good.
Yeah, it was
It's not that
terrible.
good.
What
I mean,
about
I
that-
was like during it, I was like, okay, I see what's going on, but then it was just like, oh my god, why? Why did they? Why?
Well, did you see that? It wasn't a video game to horror movie, but it was a horror movie where there was like a video game that everyone played online, and
yeah.
Frankie Muniz was in it.
No, I never saw
And
that.
That's
That was like his
horrifying.
last. That was like his last movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Horror movies?
Yeah.
Favorite one?
Well, what do you? Well, since we don't really, although I do love the Resident Evils, they do not, go with
Compare
any of
with
them.
any of them?
canon?
They don't
No,
compare.
not at all.
Yeah.
All right. I always thought they were for some reason.
Well, the main character is even something they just made up for the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jovovich.
Even though there's like, isn't Jill in that movie?
Yeah. She's in the second one.
She's in the last one,
Oh, is she?
the latest one,
They're all in that
What
one.
about
aren't they?
Doom? The movie Doom.
The
Doom,
movie Doom.
with the Rock.
Yeah,
Dwayne
I always
Rock
love The Rock.
Did
I will
anyone
see
watch that?
anything
The
he's in.
first
I love that
person
one.
shooter.
I've never seen that.
I love that
You know
one.
what? I've played. I haven't played enough Doom to really know it. I just know that it's like they're on Mars and demons from hell
Yeah.
come out. And so I've always thought that was kind of cool in a weird, like, crazy, awesome way. I don't think that was the story of that particular.
Never
game.
really had
that
a
was
computer
actually
around the time.
in the
movie.
That was the movie.
Demons come up from hell and on Mars.
I mean, I can Steam it right now, but at the time I never had a computer
Yeah.
to floppy disk that in there.
And then they would try first-person shootering, and it was so
I
bad.
loved it. Like the
It
Star Wars
tried.
games that would just
Uh-huh.
Um,
Virtual. It felt like a virtual reality.
what do you think
sequence.
of the Silent Hill movie, Jared?
It was boring.
You didn't like it?
Is that
I mean, it
Christian
didn't-
Slater?
Did you watch the newest one?
No, I watched the old one.
Oh, okay,
Can you have?
like the first
I've
one.
never seen it, but tell me this: does Michael Bean die?
Michael Bean.
I'm sorry,
I think
Sean
he's
Bean.
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean.
Sean
my
Isn't
bad.
he already dead? He was like a ghost.
He's
wasn't he?
already dead.
Was he
And the
already
one
dead?
you saw, no, but he
Oh,
dies
okay,
in the second
man.
one because
That's a
his
freaky
character
game.
dies.
Never seen it.
I don't know.
He
I
showed
just
up
remember
dead.
really being bored. Not
I've never
scared.
seen it.
It's okay. What I liked about it is they actually did put some of the fixed camera angle shots
Oh,
of the game.
That's kind of cool.
Like in
That's
the
pretty smart,
alleyway,
actually.
I was like, "Oh, this is so cool!" And that I actually enjoyed Silent Hill 1. Favorite horror movies. What about you guys?
Go
on
for it,
that?
Joseph. You
Me?
started that, yeah.
Favorite horror movies.
You really want to know?
Transition
Yes.
to
Okay. Favorite of all time, Arachnophobia.
Oh! God damn it, dude! Why?
Arachnophobia.
It's got Jeff Daniels.
Is that the one with
spiders?
David Arquette?
No, that's
Eight-legged freaks.
Yeah,
That's,
That's what I was
This
thinking.
is
arachnophobia. I actually like arachnophobia.
yeah, it's great. It's got giant spiders running around, little spiders running around.
It's just as cheese
Spiders
as
don't scare
eight-legged
me, man.
freaks.
Yeah,
That don't
man.
scare me. Spiders.
Spider? Oh man.
John Goodman in it.
If they ever made like a spider body, a clown head, that would be horrifying.
Jared would die of
Have you ever
fright.
seen it? That's
Yes.
it. That is it.
No, the clown head's not
with a
on the
spider body.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Believe it or not,
Really?
that is actually it.
I've
That's
never
it.
seen it.
That's what it is.
No, but is the clown head on the spider body?
Yes.
At one
I
point,
don't remember that.
That's probably because you
freaked out.
so bad.
Passed
You kinda
out.
blacked You
Yeah.
burned
Yeah.
out of your memory.
Go on,
Jared.
Joseph. Why do you like arachnophobia?
Well, I said Jeff Daniels.
That's it? That's it?
And John Goodman as an
Okay.
exterminator.
That's the movie.
Scariest part in arachnophobia is where this like giant spider just like hits
Drops.
this guy in the face.
Does that movie?
Freaking awesome.
Kill him. He just punches him as hard as he can.
I know you
Spider punch.
I know you like that movie, but does it honestly like freak you out?
No, I just love
Well,
that
what's a
movie.
horror movie that freaks you
That
out?
scares you. What?
The only one that really does is Eraserhead. It's not really a horror movie.
Eraserhead is terrifying.
It's like an
Never
art
seen
film.
You know how you say you like Mass Effect because it has creepy stuff in it, but
Yeah.
it's not supposed to be creepy.
Yeah.
Watch Eraserhead.
It's just creepy
Have you never
stuff
seen Eraserhead?
happening
Never seen it.
constantly.
Wow.
That's like a creepy movie with disturbing stuff that pops out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Jared,
Jared.
My favorite horror movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Come back to me. I'm still thinking about it.
Jackson,
I thought you wrote all this stuff down.
I couldn't figure this one out.
All right. Weird one. The Bad Seed. It's strange. It's like a 50s movie. But I love the idea of it because children are always been kind of freaky if like they're being like real evil and stuff. And this movie is about like a girl who's born into like it's literally a quote unquote like picture perfect family. And she goes to like a private school, everything. And she like brutally murders another child in her own class. And like the way, because it's 50s and stuff, they can't show anything like that.
it's all
And so-
implied.
It's all implied and it's horrifying. And I don't know, like I've never been more like freaked out and more like thought and drenched in a movie.
Sounds like
Do
a-
you like children? After that
I
movie?
still don't like children. Dude. If you're a kid,
Children's.
no, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
What about
The freakiest Doctor Who episode
What
too.
about that?
Yeah, that episode. Oh, it's like in World War II.
Yeah.
That's okay. I love Doctor Who. The freaky episodes are really scary, and this particular episode,
Modern Doctor Who. Yeah.
yeah.
Are you my mummy?
Yeah, are you my mummy? And it's this kid, and he's got like lacerations all over his hands, and he's essentially unstoppable. Like people can't see him, and like whenever he's around, like radio static, that's always a freaky aspect. But like radio static, just like just gets real loud. And he walks in, all he says is, "Are you my mummy?" And he's got a gas mask instead of a face, but yet he's talking.
That's pretty cool.
And then everything he touches becomes like him. And
Wood.
of course,
Guys, what if all the air was wood?
Oh, it just came up in a podcast. There it goes.
guys, I think I'd be dead. High five.
High fives.
High fives
Five
all around.
We've talked about this many a time. It's one of our favorite discussions.
One of our favorite topics.
Tell us about what you think would
Okay.
happen.
Write us an email to selectyourpodcast@gmail.com. What if air turned into wood?
And how horrifying that would be.
And that's a great
Anyways, but
horror
yeah.
That's a great horror
episode.
movie.
Wait until you get to the Weeping Angels.
I have seen that.
Yes.
Yeah, Weeping
saw
Angels are
those?
great.
I still think that the Mummy Kid is way
Scarier.
scarier.
The Mummy Kid.
Are you and everything
that
he
kid
touches?
from The Mummy
they
too,
all
yeah.
start
Oh.
saying that. They all start saying that, but they're adults. So like,
Zip.
Mummy.
Let
my-
Thomas, what's your favorite horror movie?
Yeah,
sorry,
thank you.
sorry,
Okay.
sorry.
Let's not get on this.
Back on track.
Back on track.
Yo.
Mine.
Gotta calm down.
Just calm down, Jackson. Calm down. Okay.
Mine's actually a tie. Is that alright if I do that?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
The very, very first Alien movie.
Good choice. That's
Yeah.
so classic.
I love sci-fi and horror movies. I mean, I almost said Event Horizon, but
What?
Event Horizon freaked me out.
It
But,
is scary.
but no, the first Alien movie just freaked me out. Especially when, was it Dallas? Like, the captain is, like, down in the in the tunnels. And he's like, it's right behind you. It's right behind you. He can't find it, so he goes down one more level. It's like, I'm safe here. Turns around, bam! Alien's right there, and you don't see anything. You just hear it over the radio.
That's the correct term.
That's a species.
Xenomorph.
Anyway,
Burn.
and the other one,
You xenophobe?
Xenophobe.
and the other one is a 1979 miniseries of Stephen King's Salem Lot book. That one really scared me.
Tell us about this.
Yeah, what's
because
this
we don't
about?
know anything
I've
about
never
this.
heard of any of this.
Salem's Lot is a horror book written by Stephen King about vampires, and he did that.
Vampire.
Sparkles.
His vampires are very
Bella.
traditional.
Jacob. Wolves for life.
Anyway,
least we didn't
his
read
vampires are like
50
very
Shades.
traditional. They're very scary. They're like frightened by crosses and stuff, but they can only go into your house by you letting them in. And there's this one part where this kid, and that's another thing is that kids become vampires, and like there's an infant vampire too. it gets kind of freaky.
How did the infant let the vampire in?
Well, no, it's his mother.
Oh.
And she created it, and
Let the right one in.
That's a good movie.
That's a good movie.
No,
as
it's not.
well. That's a
Once
great
you go
movie.
vamp, you never go back.
anyway, like
You don't have to respect
the
artists.
scariest part of this movie though was when this kid he's asleep in his bed and his friend comes up to his window. He's a vampire, and he starts scratching on the window. He's like, "Hey, Danny, let me in!" And all you hear is from the glass when he's like just scratching on it, and it's terrifying. So those are my two.
We didn't get your favorite scary part of your favorite scary
That's
movie.
true. Yeah.
The whole entire
That's the whole
entire
thing?
plot is horrifying, man.
You
There's
hate
one
children.
part. Okay, there's one part where this guy he figures out that she's the killer because like it's a big thing across town, and it's all word of mouth too.
Yeah.
They're like, so this kid got killed at school, and we hear there's like half moon things on his hand because he was. I'm not gonna spoil
We're
it.
talking about what movie again?
This is called The Bad Seed. and
The Bad
it's-
Seed,
It's
okay.
the acting is
Just since we.
so good. It is just so good.
It's just so good.
I
What?
finally got mine.
Okay.
Unless
Jared.
you want to go,
Go,
Johnny.
No, let's go with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Jared.
It's a tie between two. The first one is Audition. It's a Korean film. It's called Audition. It's I think a Japanese film or Korean. I'm not sure. It's about this agent, and he's looking for like a certain girl to be in like I don't remember what it was. I think it was a commercial or something. And this girl comes in, and she's like, "Oh, I want to audition for this." And he's like, "Okay, yeah, you're cute, and you seem like you'd be good for this role." And she's like, "Well," and he's like, "We'll call you if you get it." And so you see this guy like live some like his life, and like days go by, and you see her life, and she's just waiting by the phone. You just see her sitting by the phone, and he's never called, and like a week goes by, and towards the end, she knocks him out, and he wakes up in her house, and like you see this bag off to the side, it's like a big body bag, and it doesn't move for a while, and then after a while, it just starts moving around, and you're like, oh my god, what is in that bag? And she finally opens it, and it's like this dude with like no legs or limbs, and he has no tongue, and he's like crawling around, and she like feeds him this bowl of throw up, and he just eats it because he's so starved and stuff, and it's so disturbing.
I've heard about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually heard that. You know, it doesn't seem like a horror movie in the beginning,
Yeah,
right?
it's pretty tame in the beginning.
Yeah.
But then it's just like, oh my god, what is this? Why is this happening? This is creepy.
It's Korean.
Korean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe it's
so.
Korean.
Sounds really gross.
And then the other one is this old like 70s movie where like the killer just wears this plain white mask. And it's just, I hate that look. It was just like a plain white mask with like no expression.
You should have seen my mask.
Man.
And it just freaked me out.
What movie was that? You don't?
I don't remember the name. I saw it when I was really young.
Plain
It just
white
scarred
mask.
me for
Halloween.
scarred me for life. No,
that
that
has a face.
yeah, that has a face.
Jamie Lee Curtis on Halloween. right?
Okay, Johnny.
Oh yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Well, in general,
anything.
yes.
I'll take that. I'll
Dude.
take 2,
The
please.
Activia commercials.
Even now, you
Oh.
know. Yeah. She's a silver fox. That's all I gotta say.
She's a G-MILFs.
Well, I guess mine, The Shining.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love The Shining. You know,
Scariest
all
part.
Kubrick's
Good
stuff.
choice.
I don't really have a scary part.
The elevator of Kool-Aid?
The elevator of Kool-Aid. Yeah. Or
That was the only thing that
Oh,
bugged me about the movie.
when he's making out with that old chick.
Oh, yeah.
As well. It's not really scary to me.
Not the dude dressed as a bear.
I always laugh at him. Like, I'm always, like, I don't find it scary, I just love it.
I love it.
When he's like, you know, I'm gonna come and bash your skull in.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how did he say that? How did he say that? My parents were actually gonna stay at that hotel.
Oh, yeah?
Really?
That's
No.
cool.
Nope.
We should all stay at that hotel!
And do a podcast.
Yes!
Did you
right?
hear what they did to that hotel?
They dead.
There was a pet cemetery on that hotel, and they like dug it up to put like more rooms on there. Or
That's just a
something.
better attraction.
Right? Let's go stay at that!
2 books in 1.
Oh, me and Jared will go stay.
I'll go.
Right?
I'll go.
We'll go,
I'll go.
We'll go live stream.
I love visiting creepy
live
ass
stream.
places. Like, I don't know.
Like Chuck E. Cheese.
Not me.
You and your children.
The ghost can live stream with us.
Yes, dude. I bet you that'd be hilarious. I bet you, at the end of the recording, we'll just hear like,
Yeah.
"Fuck you, you're gonna die."
And our guest star on this podcast is the creepy ghost.
Yeah.
Satan.
Okay,
It's a demon.
because
We're bringing a Ouija
Beelzebub.
board too.
we kind of
No.
Hell no. I'm not doing
We're not
that.
bringing
I'm never
that.
doing that.
Not doing that.
I have limits, bro.
That's
Bro.
exorcist right there.
I'm never
We staying
doing
on a hotel room on a pet cemetery in a haunted hotel.
With an
That's my
Ouija board.
No.
That's
With
a-
the Ouija board.
That's
With the
asking for
Luigi
Satan to
board.
come.
You guys are gonna, be showering, and I'm just gonna be like, "Oh, are you here?"
we're all showering together.
And me and Jared are just in a shower, like, hey, what up, bro? Oh, I think Johnny brought a Ouija board.
I think Johnny joined us. He'd look around, it's that old lady.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, no.
Oh, psycho.
But
Since we kind of did this with the video games, what's like a movie that's not supposed to be scary that frightens you? Because I would say like Pee-wee's
Pee-wee,
Big Adventure.
Yeah.
That stupid trucking scene where he like turns around and she's like, ah!
oh, I love that. I have a T-shirt of that.
Yeah.
That's what I took to San Antonio. My large Marge T-shirt.
Yeah, that like
There she's
scarred me as a
Yeah.
It
kid.
was a night just like tonight. The clowns on Pee-wee's Big Adventure scarred me as a
Yeah.
child. Well, when he's like, he ties his bike up to the clown in the beginning, and then it's gone, and he looks at the clown, and it's just like,
Hell yeah.
Speaking of clowns, in Brave Little Toaster, when the toaster's having a bad dream, and at the end the clown's like, run, and you're like, oh my,
He's sticking forks in the brave
Yeah.
little toast.
and then he's like he's gonna fall like in a tub of water, and he's all freaked out.
Transition. You guys ever had a really trippy fever dream that you just freaked the hell out of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
wanna
yeah.
talk about it?
Who wants to talk about it first?
I remember mine back when I was around 12 or 13. It's kind of weird, but I guess that's the point of this subject.
Yeah.
I just watched Twister with my dad.
Oh, that's always bad.
And, well, that's the thing is that movie kind of scares you a little bit, especially,
It does.
because not too long ago, our like,
Helen
town...
Hunt. Yeah, okay.
Our town
so
was like
good.
in Tornado Alley, basically, and so like every night I'd go to
Was it
bed.
this town
It's like
in
there's gonna
Tornado?
be
We haven't had a tornado here since the 70s.
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine.
Now that you say
Tornadoes do scare the hell out of me,
We
though.
just have hurricane
But
winds.
anyway, sorry.
go on.
anyway, and it kind of freaked me out because every night you go to bed, it's like there's gonna be a tornado tonight. There's gonna be a tornado tonight.
How old were you?
Like I said, around 12,
Oh.
and this continued on because the movie was out for a while, but I watched that and those old feelings came up, and I went to bed, and for some reason I was chasing tornadoes. And the whole scenery was like purple. I don't know why it was purple, but it was purple. It was like really dark and gritty. And I was looking at a map or something on a table, and then all of a sudden something comes up and just bites me on the neck, and I wake up. And for some reason I was like terrified. I could not go back to sleep for the entire night.
Was it Helen Hunt?
Oh.
That would be terrifying.
Not for me. That would be a completely different dream for me.
It was actually Bill Paxton. It was Bill Paxton.
Still completely different dream for
Philip
me.
Seymour Hoffman.
He would too.
Oh man, Jackson.
Jackson, how about you, man?
Dreams. What are yours?
All right, I'm having to toss it between two. There was a. Okay, I'll just go with this one. There was one dream. Whenever it was one of those kind of where you wake up and you can kind of do, like, you kind of feel, you're in a dream, but you're not.
It?
Yeah, you can control kind of what you're doing.
What is it called? Lucid.
Lucid. Yeah. I actually have those more often than you should. But anyway, this is a particular one of those, and I wake up just like from my bed, go into my this is my old house, and walk in. And for whatever reason, my parents are they won't serve me like breakfast. And I'm just like, what are y'all like?
The rich white kids. Dream.
And anyway, so I'm just like, and so I'm like, I'm talking.
Woke up from my bed and breakfast.
I don't know about you, Jackson, but I always had to make my breakfast.
I'm talking to my parents.
Yeah, okay, let's let.
I'm sorry.
And I'm trying to get them to even notice me, and they can't. And then but my sister comes in, and it just does all of her little school thing. She was like 4, and anyway, my parents just don't notice me, and so I'm like banging on the table, I'm yelling at them, and nothing. So then I end up walking to school because they just don't drive me. I have my own bed and stuff. They don't drive me, so I walk to school. All my best friends and stuff, completely ignored. They finally, one person phases through me, and I had apparently died, as a baby. And this is what would have been if I had never existed. It was weird, horrifying. Deep. The dream lasted for a good. Felt like a whole entire 4 weeks or something.
It felt like a lifetime.
And I was just every day, I would go back to bed and wake up, and the covers would be just normal or whatever, and I would have to watch everybody go through life as if I wasn't there, and it was I woke up in tears. It was so sad and terrifying, and so I gave my ran over, gave my mom and dad a hug, and told them about it.
Get off me, Jackson.
Go back to your bed, you idiot. We got school in the morning, bro.
It's this guy hugging us.
Right?
No! And then into another dream.
Yeah. So that's definitely... That's so personal.
And one day he wakes up next to Seymour Hoffman. And he's like,
no! It happened! Leonardo DiCaprio's
like Dennis Hoffman.
Told you.
Oh. Jared?
One day, I don't know what caused this dream. Probably a lot of candy. One day or night, I guess, I had a dream. Yeah, you too, Johnny.
Speak up, Jared. Your waves are very tiny.
Your waves are tiny. Anyway, in this dream, it started off with me in heaven, and I was driving a car in heaven, and I drive off
You fell off heaven?
No, there was mountains, and I drove off.
Sounds like a Los Lonely Boys
Dragon Ball Z heaven.
And I crashed, and everything's fine because you're in heaven, you don't die.
Heaven.
I'm done.
Go on, Jared.
I'm done.
Jared, go on.
I quit. But anyway, I drive off. It'd explode. I'd be fine. You're in heaven. You're dead. You're in heaven. Anyway, an angel comes up to me. He's like, God told me to tell you to go down in hell and save someone you knew back on Earth, because I don't know. He just told me to go down into hell and save him. And I was like, I'm enjoying my car driving in the track. And he's like,
this is fun, dude.
And I was like, oh, okay. And then I just appeared in this dark place, and I'm just walking, and I go down into, I guess, lower and lower, and it just gets creepier and creepier as I go on. I see stuff I don't want to say because it's pretty graphic. I don't want to say anything, but
go for it.
It gets pretty
Jared's
creepy.
Inferno.
I'll edit it.
It's it's torture and people
okay.
without skin and stuff like that.
Oh, sick.
And I'm freaking out, and I woke up towards the end of the dream where I got to I guess the center if we're doing the whole Inferno thing.
It was me.
I saw Satan, and then I woke up, and I was freaked out in the morning. I didn't want to go to sleep again.
Do you want a hug?
No, I'm
Come here, Jared. Come
That
here.
sounds like a
Come
movie.
Get away from me.
Get away from me. This is a horror story itself.
You're still asleep.
And then he saw Philip Seymour Hoffman.
No!
That was Satan.
That was Satan. Joseph.
Okay, I got two little fast ones because my dreams are always
Is this the
fast.
one where you had hair on your
Yes! So, my tongue grows bigger, and it, like, doesn't fit in my mouth. And then, like, the little taste buds, they, like, start splitting. And they're so big, but they have hair in them and
You
stuff
sound like Christopher Walken. They're so big!
It's coming from.
So it's like a really nasty koosh ball.
This is coming from a published writer, guys. This is so in depth.
And then the second one
Koosh ball!
is a driving dream. We're like on vacation. We're driving around.
animation, by the way.
And then all of a sudden, all these bees, and there's no Nicolas Cage.
Not the bees!
There's bees everywhere, and they start chasing our car, and we gotta run away from bees.
I'm still laughing at that giant
hairy
kush ball
For a tongue.
for a tongue. Oh, that's brilliant. That's so
Something used to
brilliant.
creep me out as a kid is that my parents liked me to listen to classical music when I go to sleep. And for some reason, they thought the best thing to put me to sleep was Peter and the Wolf. Have you guys ever listened to that?
Yeah.
It's this really
I haven't.
dark piece of classical music that has narration to it. It's about a young kid going off into the woods and a wolf chases him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great imagery. As I'm trying to go to sleep in the dark, and I still have a copy of this to this day.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Trying to get down the chimney.
You're not Santa Claus.
I'm Satan Claus.
Anyway, I still have a copy of that recording, and about 3 weeks ago, I tried going to sleep, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna put on some Peter the Wolf because I really like that. I really do like that.
Yeah, it's a great music.
It's a great music. It's great
It's
music.
a great
It's a great music.
I don't know how to talk.
It's good music.
It's good music.
Music good.
And I put it
So
on.
good.
I put it on like at 3 o'clock in the morning, and
Wonderful
I just
listening.
got kind of scared and I couldn't go to sleep. So I'm like, nope, not anymore. No.
That was really creepy with the chimney. Now it's done. It was rattling like Satan Claus, and now it's just done.
It's done.
Nothing's going on.
Jackson, you're right there.
sprung the leak.
Satan Claus was so funny. That was so good. I needed that. Man. That was so funny.
When you fall in the dream, you like fall in real life. You have that little jolt.
Yeah, I've had that.
I've had those.
The kick.
We
I
talked
was-
about that in our Majora's playthrough.
Really?
Yeah,
Ooh.
I've actually hit the ground before. No, you're not supposed to do that. But
You're
I've
supposed
done
to die when you hit the ground,
Yeah.
right?
Jackson, you f***ed up the dream.
Jackson, you died.
I don't know, man. I hit it,
We
and then
Jackson.
just kind of like,
we could just phase through him.
did y'all ever? I hate dreams where I'm being chased.
I get chased by the predator.
I get chased. That's awesome. Kinda. I always get chased by like a very murderous like intent. I don't even know. I never see it. It's like a shadowy
Just
figure.
something chasing
But it
you.
wants to kill me. I can just look behind and tell. And so I've always got to like hide around.
Like an
and
entity?
stuff.
Is that what you mean? Like a ghost?
No, it's like a black humanoid. Like it's. I've had this guy has chased me a few times. I've had this guy like in a clock. Like one time there was a big clockwork tower thingy, and I was small, and I had to run around and like hide. And there's like every time I look behind me, there's this guy like getting closer, and it was just luminous, and it was just kind of like a black like
Death.
shadow.
How do
Yeah.
you get rid of it, Jackson? In these dreams of yours?
I usually just eventually wake up, and they're not even scary anymore, but they have happened a few times.
Yeah,
And,
same here.
Like I just know to avoid him. I know not.
To go near him.
Yes, just to get out
It's
of
just
his
like
way.
Slenderman.
Too
The real
bad.
Slenderman, not
Yeah.
this video game.
Yeah.
I always have to just kill the predator.
Really?
Go in with your shadowy ghost kind of guy. Have you guys ever had like real life like ghost experiences?
Ghosts? No.
Crazy ghost experiences.
What's the creepiest thing that's ever happened to you?
I've had two. There's one.
The manga shop?
Speak
No,
up, Jay.
shut your face. One night, me and my friend Michael were just walking around his neighborhood at night, and it was kind of windy, kind of like that chimney. We were just walking around like his neighborhood. He lives by a field in like farming community or whatever, and we were just walking around. It was about midnight, and it was windy. It was setting a mood. We were getting close to his house, and all of a sudden we hear like a chainsaw like rev up. We're like, and Michael just looked at me and he's like, "Run!" And we booked it back to his house.
I think I was staying with you guys, right?
Were you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I was at the house. I think I was in the backyard.
Yeah, you were in the backyard.
Because I was about
Because
to...
we were like, "Did you hear that?" And
Yeah.
you're like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
It was him.
It was me the entire time.
Dang it, Johnny! You should have told us.
I was sleep dreaming and I was
Trying to
killing
eat
somebody. Trying to eat somebody.
And then recently, we went on a trip to San Antonio.
I got footage of that. Should be up soon.
Oh, sweet! And we were just We were going to a movie to see, what was it called?
The escape plan.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone.
And we totally got scared.
Oh! And we were walking down the street. It's a pretty rough
It
part
was
of
all
that.
abandoned buildings.
Yeah. And as we were walking by, I look in a window, and there's just a child sitting in a chair. And I got really silent, and they're like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "I saw a child just sitting on a chair in an abandoned building. Should we go like try to help him, or is that a ghost? What is that?" And they're like,
We were
"Dude,
like,
don't freak
"No
us
way."
out." They're like, "No, stop freaking us out." So when we're walking back from the movie, I look again. It's just a doll, just like just a big like human doll sitting in a chair.
It's a doll now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Annabelle, the haunted doll.
Oh.
Or the other one that's...
Yeah, the one in Florida.
Yeah, the one that
Yeah.
asks you... I mean, you have to ask to take a picture, and if it blinks or something like that, you're allowed to take a picture of
That
it.
was incorrect.
Was it real?
Yeah.
Is it real?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's terrifying.
That's
It's like
If he doesn't
or
allow
something
you,
like
to,
that.
if you take a picture without it telling you, somehow it'll haunt you or kill you,
Yeah.
or something like that.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's like
Yeah.
Eugene's doll or something.
Something like that. Yeah, Eugene's doll.
Eugene. Jackson.
What about you, Jackson?
Jackson, you
Tell
got
us
any
your
crazy?
creepiest.
One day I was up late high school night. I couldn't sleep. It's probably having high school's problems.
He was all angsty.
I was so much angst.
So much testosterone.
Why
Why'd you
you
talk about your girls?
Lincoln
Probably
Park?
good.
I was listening to my Linkin Park and crying and punching and kicking walls. Anyway,
Jackson, why don't you guys
Falling
talk
off
about your girls?
I had a Zanga, and I remember because this is like one of the 4 posts I've ever posted on Zanga ever was.
What is Zanga?
What is Zanga?
Yeah, what
It's
is
like the
Zanga?
MySpace before MySpace.
Okay.
It's like the-
Zanga?
He's hip. Zanga man. Anyway, well, I remember I was on it and I was typing something and I just couldn't sleep. It was like it was way late,
Past your bedtime.
way past my bedtime.
It was a school day, Jackson.
I got up. Everybody was asleep, and I got up and I used to just kind of walk outside in the front yard. It was just, I don't know. I mean, whenever I was sleepless, that would just kind of calm me down. Anyway, I would walk outside the front yard, and no joke, a guy way too late to be walking walks, stops, and just looks at me. And this, he just looks at me, and we are probably about like from me to the wall, like probably 10 feet, and he just stops and just stares. Not a hobo or anything.
Just a normal guy. Was it Philip Seymour?
So I just kind of like look at him, and I was like in like sleep
Peeing your
clothes.
pants?
No, I was like in boxers and a t-shirt. So
That's why he's staring.
No, I go back inside to my parents' house, and I just kind of because that was just more like
Don't your
riling
parents, like
up.
live a little outside?
No, this was back my old house. This is in
Okay.
the city. And I walk back inside, and there's a window that you can see out from the kitchen, seeing out to the street. That guy was in the middle of the street staring at my house just for like 5 minutes straight.
You know it's dark, right?
It was 2 a.m.-ish, and I was just like, what the you know. So anyway, I typed up Zanga. I was like, text me, I'm terrified. Anyway, so
Second one.
that was pretty weird. I never saw him again either, so I don't know what the heck.
We should go find him.
What was he wearing? Like,
He was wearing like a hoodie. I also didn't like how I couldn't hear him. Like he just kind of walked up, but you can kind of hear pitter pattering on the sidewalk. I didn't hear anything like that, and he never gave me like he gave me an instantly unpleasant feeling. I remember that. I was just like, it was because you might ask like, what, it's 2 a.m. Like, what do you? I didn't want to say anything to this guy. I could just tell he was weird, and so. No, Johnny, he wasn't.
Nothing.
No, forget that. All right.
Well,
Anyway.
I got my creepy story lined up. You guys want to hear it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Joseph will like this
I don't.
one.
Okay.
I was actually counseling at a kids camp one summer, and they had this really bad infestation of tarantulas throughout the entire camp. I mean, Joseph raises his arms. Arachnophobia everywhere.
We had that at our
Jeff
house
Daniels.
one time.
Yeah, and they weren't too bad. They were just kind of like on the road.
They were friendly.
They were bros. They were bros.
Nothing,
What's up,
nothing
man?
friendly
They played
about
poker.
those things.
You got some mallows?
I mean, they were just on the road. You'd see them like on a wall or something. You just leave them alone. They're fine. But I was getting all my kids ready for bed and everything else, and I had to put out some of their clothes to dry out on the line because we had a swimming pool there. And I opened the door, and there has to be at least 30 tarantulas just going all around the front door of this cabin that we're staying out. And I'm like, I like slammed the door shut, and I asked one of my fellow counselors, like, "What are we gonna do? We can't get outside." He goes like, "Okay, you cannot tell anybody that I did this." And I'm like, "What are you gonna do?" He gets his lighter.
Yes.
He goes like, "Do you have your Axe body spray?" I'm like,
Arachnophobia.
I'm like, "You're kidding? You're gonna do
man.
that?" And so he gets out. I open the door, and he goes like. And they just like scatter. He doesn't hit anything. He just like does it in the air, but they all scatter everywhere. I'm like, and he's like, "You want to go hang out the clothes?" I'm like, "No, you can."
Did you have a scary?
I guess so. Well, my dad grew up in like a really tiny town.
We have like
So there is like
a ton of ghost
a
stories.
ton of
and
ghost
witch
stories. And they say witches just like walk across the field like, if you look out the window.
Yeah.
There was this one time where my mom and my grandma were in the kitchen, and just all of a sudden this like cookie jar explodes.
Don't put your feet in the register.
But the creepiest part of it was just going to the bathroom at night.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was in this hallway with the glass door, so you open that. There's some like little miniature figurines there, so that's creepy enough. And then you turn on the light, and it's one of those lights that go ching, ching, ching. So it like takes like a whole minute to open up. Meanwhile, you're walking down the hall, it's creaking. And then at the end of the hall is just like this door looking out to the night. And there's just like lights out there, and it freaks you out.
They own the night.
So then you go to the bathroom and like pitch black, and then you come back. And
Try to go back to sleep.
Yeah, you never try to go to the bathroom
What
again.
town was this?
It's West
Is
New
it
Mexico.
New Mexico?
Yeah.
New Mexico is scary as hell.
Oh yeah.
I have family in Roswell that have like
we've
old
heard
houses.
a ton of ghost stories from our family about New Mexico.
Really,
and stuff.
Yeah.
it's so terrifying. Well,
It's the land of enchantment.
Well,
So enchanted.
even in my family's cabin, like even though the one we vacationed at, it's creepy because sometimes when you're outside, like on the patio, you can feel yourself being watched. You don't know by what, but you can feel that you are.
demons.
Well, no, I mean,
Exercise
red-
the demons.
Redneck like dudes that ask you if you saw
you
pigs.
saw
that
you
was
gotta see a
weird.
pig anywhere. I'm
Gotta
like,
see a
no,
pig.
as I reach for my pistol.
Yeah.
That was Philip Seymour.
That
That was Philip.
That was
Seymour.
total Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Was
Johnny-
that your
Go
story?
ahead, Johnny.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't have much. I try to stay away from all that creepy stuff. I'm
Well-
a big wimp.
Boring.
I used to stay at this house. For some reason, that house, sometimes scared the crap out of me. But one time I was in the living room. For some reason I slept in the living room this day. And I slept on the couch. And when I woke up, it was maybe 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. The phone rang. I was like, okay, whatever. I turned around, put my head on the under the pillow, and I was around maybe 15 at the time. So the phone rang. I put my head under the pillow. And it kept ringing. I was like, fine, whatever. I answer the phone, and it's static. Nothing. I hear nothing. And I'm like, hello? Who is this? Hello? Nothing. I hang up, go back to sleep. 2 minutes later, the phone rings again. I'm like, what the hell? I look at the caller ID, it says unknown. And I answer the phone. I'm like, hello? Who is this? Yeah, what's up? I'm half asleep, whatever.
Hi.
And it's
Sorry to bother you.
bro.
it's just
Hey, milk.
it's just static the entire
Got some
time.
holy water.
It's just static the entire time, so it's like I hang up, I try to go back to sleep. The third time I answer it, the caller ID doesn't say anything. And I answer it, and I'm like, dude, what's up? What's going on? And I'm like, hello? And it's just... So I hang up. This time I'm like terrified. I don't go back to sleep or anything, or try to go back to sleep. And my grandma has like these little toys for her like great grandkids. One of them's like this, just Fisher Price thing that starts going off, and it's like playing this children's toys, and it's just like and
a Furby.
She has a
I have a Furby tail.
she has a great grandfather clock, so it's like doom doom, and this thing's like and finally one of these toys goes, let's play. Come on, let's play. Their dog comes up, sits with me, starts barking at this thing forever, and I'm like,
He's like, I got this, bro.
holy shit.
Don't worry, man. I'm like,
No,
you don't have
okay.
holy water. I got
It
this.
started barking the entire time all the things did, but when it said, let's play, it stopped barking and just, was terrified. And me and him were just, there for like a good 15 minutes. And it was just like, all this stuff is going off and that, and I'm just like, oh my god. And finally, my other cousin comes in, and he just sees me there, and I'm just white, and all the stuff turns off right when he walks in. And I was just like, thank you so much.
You have no idea.
He's like, I was just shit scared and
kidding,
everything. That
That's
was one of
horrible.
my terrifying
I have-
experiences.
A quick story. It's kind of silly. I used to sleep in the living room of my an old house in one of our older houses, and I used to freak out every once in a while because it's all dark and I don't sleep. I wasn't sleeping well, and I was just sitting there looking around. It's kind of creepy. It's night. It's like you can hear crickets and stuff. I see a cockroach crawl on the floor, and I'm like, I just stare at it. I swear to God, it gets on its two back legs and starts running at me. And I'm like, oh my God. I ran to go get a shoe and I never saw it again.
When we were transferring Jared's and Joseph's parents back from Kansas back to the small town that we live in,
We won't tell you.
You don't get to know.
you don't get to know. It was a 12-hour trip, and so we are just shit tired. And we come across this town because we have to have gas. And this town has this overwhelming presence of evil.
Oh man.
But it's not this you can feel it.
Yeah.
You see drunk
It's
people,
thick.
and it's maybe
My
I'm-
asthma.
it's maybe a mile across. It wasn't even that big.
No.
You could see from one end of the town to the next.
When we get into this town, just you hear yelling.
Yeah, you hear screaming, yelling. There's this car that pulls out of this gas station at maybe 60 miles an hour doing a turn, and people are hanging out the truck, the bed, screaming at us, drunk as shit. And I don't know what's going on. There's people walking down the street that you can clearly tell that they are intoxicated.
Yeah.
And we pull up to this gas station. Jared goes in there, and he comes back out because he's going to the bathroom. He comes back out. He kind of almost runs out. And he's like,
Just go.
And by the way, there's crickets everywhere.
Giant crickets.
Giant
Not just crickets.
These are locusts.
You can you could like handshake these crickets. When you step, it's like, and then there's beetles as well.
Giant beetles.
But
And then the crickets are flying in the air eating these beetles.
In mid-flight, you can see them like tear the heads off these beetles.
Yeah, it was.
and the same thing with the beetles. They're eating each other.
Yeah.
And what was scary is that another one was that a cricket like leaped, a beetle jumped and like caught it and was eating it. And there's like just
awesome.
thousands of these things, and we're walking over them. And
There's evil teenagers about.
God,
Yeah.
they're like hanging outside that convenience store, just like looking at us. We're just like, ah!
Like children in the corner just watching you.
Yeah. And then Joseph doesn't make it any better when he pulls up the moving van, hits the freaking
Trash can.
the trash can by the gas pump, looks at it, looks at us, and drives away down next to the gas station.
Go, Joseph.
I was ready to leave Sodom.
I swear to God, he was Kip from Napoleon Dynamite. He like looked at us and like, dang it.
Dragging the trash can.
Was it scary because he left you guys in this
A little bit, yeah. Me and like
shady
Jared,
neighborhood?
Me and Jared just like, okay. He
My
left us.
dad's like signaling us, like, go.
Like, go.
Shady neighborhood. It was like a shady town.
Yeah.
Okay.
This whole
It was night. It was dark. There was like yellow lights. 'Cause-
Yellow eyes
Yeah.
poking out everywhere.
It was weird.
God, it was weird.
Just weird.
All right, I think we're
Wrap it up,
Okay.
wrap
Johnny.
it up, Johnny.
Well, thanks you guys for listening if you stayed throughout the entire thing. This was our Select Your Podcast Spooky Cat.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, God! Dennis Hopper.
Satan Claus.
Satan Claus.
That should be the title.
Boy.
It's-
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Or Satan Claus.
Or Satan Claus. Okay. But thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to especially thank El Gran Quelonio from Spain. They let us use our intro and outro music.
Yay,
So thank
Spain.
you guys.
Woo! Thank you
They-
guys. You guys are awesome.
They're soundcloud.com/ELGRANQUELONIO. El Gran Quelonio. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, guys.
And
Thank you.
Good night.
I'm Johnny.
Joseph.
Jared Jackson.
Thomas.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.